A Division III college athlete just ran 100 meters in 9.89 seconds. No scholarships, no D1 program, no premium amenities. A kid from Wisconsin that all the big schools looked at and said, no thanks. He's just the fastest dude on the planet in 2026. When Noah Lyles heard about this, he said something that tells you all you need to know about the state of sprinting right now. We will be there. But first, you need to understand how impossible this scenario is. 9.89 seconds, which is equal to Noah Lyles for third at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. Third in the globe, not third in his age group, not third in university, third best in the world, against all the pro sprinters in the world. And Sam Blaskowski did it without a single scholarship cent of assistance. Oshkosh, Wis, exactly a place you'd think of for world-class sprinters. Not a breeding ground for creating athletes that compete at the highest level. Just a normal Midwestern town where youngsters play football, baseball, and soccer, and most of them do not even think of a straight line for a living. He grew up with Sam Blaskowski in the mix. He played flag football, basketball, indoor soccer, and was a talented swimmer. He played baseball in high school in the autumn, and when cut from basketball, he took up running track. You know, no plan, no destiny, just a kid who needed something to do in winter. And then something bizarre started happening. Music moved rapidly, very fast. As a senior, he ran a 10.83-second 100-meter dash and a 21.99-second 200-meter dash. He won state championships in all of them in Wisconsin. He also took the long jump. 3 state titles, music in 2013. Good enough to get D1 coaches to pay notice, right? Somebody has had to be ringing. The only coach who called was Nicholas Gordon, the long jump coach at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse, a Division III school, the school his parents attended. The school 1 mile from his grandparents' house, and every D1 program in the country kept scrolling by. Here's something to think about. 3 state championships, and the only offer was a D3 where the kids don't even get money for a scholarship. Not a cut scholarship, not a half offer. $0. The message from the collegiate sports establishment was clear. You're not good enough for us. Division III Wisconsin-La Crosse, the level where nobody cares, the level where times don't count for the Diamond League, the level where even winning nationals is utterly meaningless to the rest of the world. The Blaskowski comes in and starts busting records right away. Freshman year, wins the 100 national D3 title. Then he wins again and again and again. 4 in a row in the 100 meters, 3 in the 60 meters, 3 more in the 200. He will have 11 individual D3 national championships upon graduation. One of the best D3 sprinting careers in American history, and yet no one outside of D3 cares. The hard truth is, if you win D3 in the 100 meters, that means you ran something like 10.2 to 10.4 seconds. That is quick, but nowhere like the times the guys who make the World Championship finals are running. There's a big difference between D3 nationals and the Olympic trials. The move from D3 nationals to the World Championships is another planet. One question no one can answer: is Blaskowski really extraordinary, or is he merely the fastest slow guy? Is he a world-class talent let down by the system, or is he simply the best of a bad bunch who will hit a ceiling as soon as meaningful competition arrives? No one knows. Then, he goes to the Olympic trials for 2024 to race against the best 100-meter sprinters in America. He does him. He's cut from the team, but he is on that course. The sporting world outside of Wisconsin began to take attention for the first time. But here's the portion of the story that only a very few people know about. The section that describes all there is to know about the genuine Sam Blaskowski. Blaskowski, who wrapped up his college career with 11 national titles, has a decision to make. He wants to go pro. He wants to know if he really is world-class or not. He wants to train with the best trainers and find out once and for all if the system fouled up on him. For that, he'll have to relocate to Florida and train with Star Athletics under Dennis Mitchell, one of America's most respected sprint coaches. Coach of 2023 world champion Sha'Carri Richardson. Kenny Bednarek works at, which have built careers on raw skill. Mitchell's team is in Florida. Blaskowski, WI, no money, no sponsor, no pro contract. So he finds a job at a small provincial airport and works through the offseason, saving every cent. Then packs up and comes to Florida to chase a dream that everyone but him believes is ludicrous. A kid who won D3 titles for 4 years that the world ignored now works an airport job to pay for his opportunity to make it to the international level. There you go, that is the story. He gets to Florida, he practices with Mitchell. He coaches Sha'Carri Richardson and Kenny Bednarek, who was 4th at the 2025 World Championships. Professional athletes that have played in the World Championships and Olympics, and in practice, something starts to happen, which Mitchell recognizes at once. This kid right here. His personal best going into the 2026 season was 10.05 seconds. Fast, not lightning. He runs 5 times early in the season, 3 at altitude. Does not go over 10. He never comes better than 3rd in any race. And the naysayers start to line up. Maybe he is a D3 man. Perhaps the Olympic trials appearance was the best she could achieve. Getting a job at the airport so he could travel to Florida was maybe the most courageous, stupid thing anyone in American sprinting ever did. And then there's May 30, 2026. Now, before I give you the time, just think about Noah Lyles for a second, since Lyles has spent years telling anyone who will listen that this sport required more participants. That track has to travel to new fans, new cities, new faces, that the athletes that slog in the dark and never get the recognition are the backbone of the whole thing. He said as much in interviews. He put it on social media. Sports for all. Speed doesn't care what school you went to. Speed does not review your academics before determining who gets to be outstanding. Then this kid from Wisconsin who has no scholarship money runs the exact same time Lyles himself ran to get bronze at the World Championships. You know what Lyles would say if he saw that number? This is just what he has been talking about. He would say, that's exactly why he's fighting to get this sport recognized. Sam Blaskowski music proves that talent doesn't live in D1 programs and Nike contracts and Olympic pipelines. Sometimes it lurks in a child working the shift at a tiny airport in Wisconsin, saving every cent and betting everything on himself. Drop it in the comments as we go. You believe a guy who played D3 and worked at an airport is one of the fastest men in the world? I would like to know whether anyone noticed this coming. May 30, 2026 Music City Track Carnival Cleveland 10N, Sam Blaskowski stretches before the 100-meter dash. He does it in 9.89 seconds, 9.89. His first under 10-second run ever, under legal conditions. He did not even bother with the 9.90s, down from 10.4005 to 9.89 in a single race. Fastest in the globe this season, and fastest American in 2026, tied for second fastest. Let us put that statistic in full perspective now because it needs to really land. Oblique Seville clocked the fastest 100-meter final in years at 9.77. To win gold at the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Kishane Thompson, 9.82, placed second. And Noah Lyles, 8-time world champion, Olympic gold medalist, most dominant sprinter of his generation, 9.89 for bronze. That's the identical time Sam Blaskowski just ran in Tennessee. The same 9.89 that got Lyles on the World Championships podium. Had he made that final, Blaskowski would have placed third in the World Championships. Third in the World Championships. A kid with no scholarship money, 11 D3 national titles that no one outside of Wisconsin witnessed, a job at the airport to pay for his trip to Florida. He had 10 of them. Dennis Mitchell would not have been astonished to run 9.89 in one of his races. Training suggested that he was capable of this, and it was only a matter of time before it happened, Blaskowski said. And there's one more element about this race that the mainstream athletics world has been dancing around but must be acknowledged right out. 9. Sam Blaskowski is the fastest white runner in the history of the game, running the 100-meter dash in 89 seconds. 60-plus years as a professional sprinter. Nobody looked like him that ever ran faster. That is no mean thing. This is a matter of historical record and places this performance on an entirely different level of accomplishment, 9.89. Tell me again. This kid from Wisconsin who worked at the airport just ran a 9.89. Blaskowski posted a statement on Instagram following the event. Music, the idea was to blow 10. It was an obsession. All those years of sacrifice, hard work, devotion, and belief came together on the track. It was not a speech, it was not a list of individuals he showed to be incorrect. It was a man who knew exactly what it cost to get there and wanted everyone else to know it as well. Years of donation. Really think about what it means to him. 4 years of D3 nationals nobody gave a shit about. A job at the airport to help him pay for his goal, away from family, away from grandparents who reside 1 mile from the lacrosse campus. Away from all things comforting and familiar, living in Florida. All of that for a number, 9.89. And the men who passed on him, the D1 coaches who swiped right past his high school times, the programs that never picked up the phone, they are looking at that number right now. 2 years away from Los Angeles, 2028. Blaskowski will be 25. Prime years, Olympics on American soil. In a country that loves the underdog more than anywhere else on earth, the 100-meter final, the nobody kid is now one of the 2 fastest men in the world. So I need you to tell me in the comments below. LA 2028, Sam Blaskowski makes the American team, stands in the Olympic 100-meter final on home grounds in front of 80,000 people that know his background. Does he get a medal? Is he finally showing the D1 universities who passed on him made the worst recruiting decision in the history of American sprinting? Drop it down, we read each and every remark, not at 9.89. Those were the years when nobody was looking on a quest. Sam Blaskowski. Life is not about finest scholarships, prettiest facilities, or best fanfare. Some days you wake up and do your work and have faith even if the world has changed. Sam's tale is an excellent example of it's not where you start, it's where you finish. Talent is certainly one element, but too frequently history is the effort of perseverance, patience, and the drive to make the impossible ideal come true.